What's up, you guys? Hey. We are here for Love and Marriage Detroit. I feel like, oh, Lord, something feels off. I don't know. I feel like the computer is, I don't know. Hey, everybody, come on in, take a seat, kick up your feet, all that good stuff, So, before we get into this, I have gifted my memberships for the month of July. Shout out to Quake because I was able to give 5 memberships because Quake donated $15. If you guys, okay, let me rewind. If you donate memberships, you can donate memberships in increments of like 1, 5, 20. You can go all the way up to, you can gift up to like 50 memberships, right? So I gifted 5, Quake donated 15, and then I put in the difference, which is like, I guess to do 5 memberships is like $26. For those who don't know what that is, you are now a member for the next 30 days. You are a part of the membership and you will have all the access and perks that come with that. At the end of the 30 days, you'll have a choice if you want to renew the membership on your own or you just want to enjoy the next 30 days. That's cool. I know some people aren't members because they don't want to be. Some people aren't members because they can't, right? So this is just a way for me to just share with you guys. And again, if it's something you want, you feel like it's worth, the was it $2.99 a month? Go for it. And so let me let you guys know who was gifted for the month of July. For the month of July, the following people have been gifted memberships. KK, Kenya NBA, Dr. Mary McWilliams, Bossy Don Diva, and Courtney Jackson. So congratulations, in addition to the other people who were gifted earlier today by Cross Country Cruiser and Mr. Willie Brown gifted memberships the other day. So congratulations. If you would like to be eligible to receive gifting, you have to go into your settings and you have to turn gifting on. I believe you just hit the toggle so that you can receive. You can be eligible, and it is random. I don't get to choose. YouTube chooses, but they say that it is based on how often, how active you are on the channel. And I will say this, that I noticed that a lot of the names are people who are here a lot, who are, active on the platform. So I don't control it. I wish I did because there are people who I would love to give, people who I see that are in the chat all the time. But I figure if we do enough gifting, eventually it'll get to the people that I want to get gifts, right? So with that being said, child, let's get into this Love and Marriage Detroit. Don't forget, tomorrow night we will be celebrating my birthday. I'll be having a virtual birthday party over here. I will be, we will provide the entertainment, honey. You just got to show up. Bring your own drinks, though. Bring your own drinks. And make sure you have a designated driver. I'm not responsible for nobody getting home. Okay? So let me just say this before we get into this review. Let me say this about Love and Marriage DC. I mean, dang. I keep saying DC. Y'all know I mean Detroit. So if I mess up, excuse me. If I mess up and say DC again, y'all know I mean Detroit. Okay? I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I don't know how much of any of this I believe. I'm going to be real with y'all. But what I'm going to do as I go through my review, I'm just going to do this like I do Love After Lockup. I don't believe half of what I'm looking at on Love After Lockup, but I just be going through the motions and telling y'all what happened. So honestly, until I get to know these people better and until I get to know their stories better, I'm just going to roll like I'm going to just talk about it, okay? And when something hit me left, I'm going to tell you, this hit me a little left, right? So that's what we're going to do. So let's start at the beginning. We are still at the Lavender Fields, child. We are still at the Lavender Fields where we are celebrating the anniversary of Christina and Brandon, okay? Christina is still upset that Brandon didn't tell her about the artist and she's feeling some kind of way. Brandon is still sitting there halfway telling the truth, okay? And they're going to have the nerve to be mad at Kobe. Now, I do think that the producers whispered in Kobe's ear and told her, bring it up. Ask about the artist. Make a big deal about it. I do feel like that's what happened. I ain't gonna front. I feel like the producers put a bug in her ear. However, it wouldn't have been no bug to put in nobody's ear if Brandon had told his wife what was going on. Okay. Now Brandon mad at Kobe and Anthony is mad at Russell. I don't understand why Anthony mad at Russell, because he was like, well, Russell, you can't be telling your wife nothing and all that pillow talk. But I'm like, again, the fault lies with Brandon, because if Brandon had told his wife about this artist, we wouldn't be having none of these conversations. Okay. So hey Colton, hey Tracy, hey everybody coming in. Camille says fake to me too. Child, we go listen. I'm gonna give y'all all the examples of what I ain't feeling. Okay, now we are still at this Lavender Field, and Courtney is still, like I said, she ain't feeling it. Christina, I called her Courtney. Christina ain't feeling it. Hey Lemon Kush, hey boo. But child, they got that band waiting for them to play, so they finally get the band to play. And child, they out in that Lavender Field dancing. Okay. And it looked like the only people having a good time is Anthony and his wife. Child. Because Russell mad at Kobe. Christina mad at Brandon. Brandon mad at Kobe. Child. And this is what I don't understand, Christina. Let's just assume for a minute that I believe this storyline. Brandon's not even a good liar. How do you not know when this man is lying? I know when the man lying, and I don't even know this man. I have seen him on a reality show for all of 2 episodes, and I know when your man is lying. How you don't know when he lying? And at this point, I'm starting to feel like he lying when his mouth open. But neither here nor there. So that's what had happened. Okay. So then we get down to Russell and Kobe. And Russell and Kobe are, they bought themselves a house and they doing some work. They doing that DIY stuff. They remind me of some friends of mine. They bought this beautiful home, had it built, right? Had the house built, beautiful house out, wherever. Y'all know Mink. For the people who've been around for a while, y'all know my girl Mink. Mink and her husband had a house built. It is a beautiful house. It is down in the country, child. Y'all heard me clown her about where she lived. And then they did all of this DIY stuff to the house. Now, don't get me wrong. It was nice stuff that they did. And they clearly enjoyed doing it. But I was like, what was the purpose of getting a house built and you still got stuff you want to do? Like, I feel like when you get done, when they put that last nail in, you should be like, all right, we just need to paint. Child, they put up crown molding. They added bookshelves in the wall. I mean, it's nice stuff. Don't get me wrong. And I guess for the price that the builders were probably going to charge, they were like, we can do that ourselves. But baby, that's just me being the lazy person that I am. But anyway, they fixing up the house. So first of all, they having this conversation. They got to recap what happened down to the anniversary. So they talking about that, blah, blah, blah. Then Russell is trying to get on Kobe about her repeating it. And Kobe was like, look, I didn't understand what the problem was. Y'all acting like it's me, but it ain't me, it's them. Okay? Brandon shouldn't have lied. If Brandon hadn't lied, none of this would be an issue. It would be a moot point. And Russell was like, yeah, but I mean, I ain't, but I was trying to like basically tell you, like, girl, stop. Like, we just need to stay out of married people's business. Now, on one hand, I 100% agree with what Russell is saying. Stay out of married people's business. But on the other hand, I 100% understand where Kobe is coming from. Kobe's thing was, you didn't tell me not to repeat this. You didn't tell me not to say nothing. Okay? You didn't tell me that this was a secret. But I feel like even if Kobe knew it was a secret, Kobe would have said something, because Kobe felt like, Christina is her homegirl, and Kobe felt like Christina should know. But this, Russell, I feel like you really getting in your feelings. But Kobe didn't know not to repeat what she repeated. Now, I will say this, Russell did tell you to shut up. I mean, he said it nicer than that. But he basically was giving you the clue, like, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I feel like had they not been filming the show, she probably would have backed up out of that. But again, we filming a TV show, and it is what it is, child. The DI crafting as a couple is cute to me when they work with. They did, and again, they did every time. Like when they first moved in the house, maybe for like the first, maybe like for the first year and a half. Every time we went down there, it was something new, and it was nice stuff. Like again, I'm not saying that they were wrong for it. I was just like, so y'all just building bookshelves. we just putting up crown molding. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we doing. Her husband is building a fence. He got halfway done. I guess he got tired. I said, so we just gonna have a half a fence. Anyway. But Russell really you just need to be clear, sir. If you don't want her to repeat it, then tell her don't repeat this. It's between me and you. And then if she does say something, then that's where it's a problem. But moving forward, that's that. Then Russell tells his wife, so yeah, I feel like, God is talking to me, and I feel like I need to get closer to God, and I need to learn my Bible more. So I'm going to enroll in divinity school. So at first he said, I'm going to enroll in divinity school. Then he said, I have already started taking classes a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So is it that you're going to enroll or you've already enrolled? And if you've already enrolled, what did you tell your wife for these last 2 weeks that you've been in class? What did you tell her? You were going to Bible study? Did you tell her you were going to church? What did you tell her that she didn't know you had already enrolled in classes? And then when she said to you, you know how I feel about, like, I told you all about my life growing up as a PK, and you know how I feel about this. And she was like, I can't tell you what God has put on your heart by any stretch. She said, but this absolutely needed to be a conversation. And he said, I know, I remember you telling me that. That's why I reached out to your dad, and he's going to be my mentor. What about any of that made sense to you, Russell? I told you that my childhood, and I'm traumatized. That might be a strong word, but we're going to go with that. I'm traumatized about the fact that I grew up a PK. I have some issues with how my dad, or how, whatever her issue. We found out later on that one of the things she talked about was her dad having to leave in the middle of the night and never really being available to the family the way she wanted him to be. So that one of my issues is my dad, and that's who you went to. You went to him first, and then you asked him to be your mentor. I let you know that part of my problem is how my father handled his responsibilities of being a pastor, and that's who you chose to be your mentor. Again, without talking to me. And he was like, well, I mean, this is what God, ain't nobody questioning what God told you. I'm questioning the fact that you didn't tell me when God told you. And like she said, we literally lay down together every night. You find time to scroll social media. You find time to watch TV. You find time to read your book. But you didn't find no time to tell me that God told you to go to divinity school? No, sir. No, sir. I said, Russell, see, Harold, you bring up a good point, Harold, and I'm going to be honest. Now, Harold said, hey, I'm trying to do better by reading the comments, y'all, so when people hear it in the playback. Harold said, really, I quote some of tonight's episode. Are we going to be able to stomach this? The misogyny is unbearable. Harold, please don't let me forget that. Or somebody don't let, in case Harold isn't here at the end. Please don't let me forget, because we talked about that last week. Last week I started off with Carlos and his man issues. We're gonna end it because I'm gonna get through this, and then I'm gonna give y'all my spiel on that at the end. Okay. So that's Russell, child. So then we see Christina and Brandon. Now listen, Christina and Brandon they tell us that they have just moved into their downtown penthouse. So you moved into this penthouse to film the show? That's what I'm getting from that. I'm getting that you moved into this penthouse for the purposes of filming the show. Because, child, all right, y'all, I'm getting ready to go down the road right now. I need y'all to walk with me. I need y'all to walk with me on this one. Y'all are trying to give us this view that y'all got it going on like that. Again, y'all not saying that y'all are multimillionaires, and I'm not saying that y'all are saying that. But you're trying to make it seem like you're moving into the penthouse in downtown Detroit, and she's an influencer, and you're in the music industry. They're trying to put out a certain air, right? And the reason why I say I feel like y'all moved into this penthouse for the show, because I think y'all are trying to put on a certain air. But am I the only person that wasn't, number one, am I the only person that wasn't impressed with this penthouse? Like, I guess my vision of what a penthouse is certain things. Am I the only one that wasn't really impressed with this penthouse? That's number one. Number two, if you have enough money to move into a penthouse, girl, you ain't got enough money to pay the movers to set y'all furniture up. Why are y'all putting together a bed in the middle of the night? Is that me being a little? Is that me being a little bougie? Is that me being a little bougie? I understand it's Detroit, but I feel like, and I'm not even talking about the outside of the building. It looks like it's an older building that's been renovated. I'm fine with that. But I felt like the renovations on the inside weren't that modern to me. That floor, it looked like what do they call it? Am I saying it right? The parquet wood flooring. It looked like that older wood flooring. The bathroom. Did y'all see the tile in the bathroom? I don't know what that means, C Golden, when you say it's Detroit. I don't know what that means. I'm not being funny. I don't know. When you say it like that, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, I mean, I don't know. A little, but you're right. If they had movers putting together, the furniture should have been included. I'm just saying, like I know when I bought new furniture, like when I bought new bedroom furniture, I paid the extra fee for them to just put the shit together. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I don't even think it was that much extra for them to put it together. So that's what I mean when I say you don't even have to be a millionaire to get them to put together bed. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm Diva said I got regular apartment money and I didn't put my own furniture together. That's all I'm saying. And I know that wasn't their bedroom. I get it. That bed could not possibly be their actual bedroom. It looked like it was probably one of their kids' beds or whatever, or a guest bedroom. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But I still don't know why y'all putting it together in the middle of the night. Anyway, Detroit is revitalizing downtown. The Clear people have moved back to downtown. All three sports teams have moved downtown, really old buildings. Again, the outside I'm fine with. I get that. I mean, DC's an old city. I mean, there's a lot of new construction and all of that, but DC's an old city. There are definitely buildings that on the outside are older, but on the inside have been modernized. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't even talking about the building being outside. I'm just looking at the inside. It doesn't look like it's been renovated. But okay, I ain't gonna get stuck on that. Hey, Virgin Love, what's up, booby? I only lived in Detroit for a couple of years and it was miserable. I felt like people there always tried to put on and act like everything was more than it was. I'm starting to feel like that's everywhere, child. I just feel like every city got it. I don't know. If you allow yourself to get it, then it's gonna get it. But anyway, we get to this and we see Courtney starting her day off with her Bible study, honey. Child, maybe Courtney should have married Russell. Okay, I don't know. But she a PK too. And her and Russell are talking. I mean, not Russell, child. Her and Brandon are talking, and they still rehashing what happened the night before. And Brandon is mad at Kobe. And now Brandon is trying to plant seeds in Christina's head about how horrible of a person Kobe is. So he's like, she just got mean girl vibes. Like, I just feel like what she did was just very mean girl. And you need to be careful because she wants your spot. She wants your spot. You couldn't tell? You couldn't tell? She's swagger jacking. She's swagger jacking. First of all, who the fuck even says that anymore? Do y'all know how long it's been since I heard somebody say somebody is swagger jacking you? Like, I haven't heard that term in so long. I forgot what the hell he was even saying. When he said swagger jacking, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it took me a second to even remember. I said swagger jacking. Anyway, so he planting seeds saying that, Kobe is copying off of you, and Kobe's doing this and Kobe's doing that. And I was like, Christina gonna fall for it, because you can see Christina falling for it. She was like, I mean, she always says that she looked up to me. So, I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt, which means that you believe him, but you're trying to give her the benefit of the doubt that it ain't true. That's what it sounds like. You didn't say, nah, that ain't true. That ain't what it is. You were like, I'm just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, which means that you see what he see, or at least you think you see what he see. You just trying not to call it out. But anyway, let me look at my notes, because I really feel like that's all I got out of that scene. Okay. Still mad at Kobe. Oh, Jack and Swag. That's what I wrote. Jack and Swag. Okay. Oh, let me rewind for a second. Let me go back to Kobe and Russell. Then Russell say he thinking about buying a gym. He said, well, I don't have to run it. I can hire a manager, but I just want to bring more money into the household. So you want to go to divinity school and you want to run a gym? Okay, girl. Okay. Xavier, do you know how long ago that was? He talking about some swagger jack is making a comeback since Mama Post iconic, admirable, or ridiculous monologue in Scandal season 6. Sir, Scandal ain't been on the air in 6 years. Nobody remember that monologue. Anyway, biting his back, Chad, I guess. So then we meet up with Anthony and her and his wife, Dr. Laura. Now here was when I first was like, y'all doing too much. Because we found out that their whole storyline that they started up last week ain't necessarily true. Anthony said in this conversation, they talk about they having a wine tasting. So we're going to see that at the end of the episode. He thinks it's Russell's fault. I already told y'all that. But what I thought was the most interesting in this whole conversation was, come to find out, Anthony said that he feels some kind of way that Dr. Laura, his wife, is comparing what he did with moving to Atlanta with what Russell did. He said, because I had her blessing to go to Atlanta. It's just that once I got there, she didn't like it. And it became a problem. So last week y'all told us that you went to Atlanta, you didn't ask, you just went. So now you're saying that you had her blessing. It's just that once you got there, it was a problem. Now, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt and say maybe she was cool with it until you got down there and the world shut down, and she was a first responder and she had to be at the hospital for hours and hours and hours at a time, and your kids were literally sitting at home being homeschooled, and she didn't have no help. Maybe she was cool with it until the circumstances changed. See, sometimes my yes is a yes until the situation changes. Then I got to change my yes. So I don't know. I'm going to put that on hold. I'm going to put a pin in that till we come back. And you're right, Tracy. Anthony is not necessarily the most trustworthy source either. So I'm going to put a pin in that till we come back around to it. That was the first time you heard the term, Xavier, because you're young. That's what I'm saying. You're young, so that's the first time you heard swagger jacking or jacking swag, whatever I said it was. Because baby, you are a lot younger than us. Well, I can say us, me. I remember when that was slang. So you don't. I don't even know if you were born. Thank you, Diamond Pearl Jim. Thank you, my love. So yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in that, and I'm gonna wait and see, because I'm sure this is their storyline, so it's gonna come up again, and I'm gonna wait and see what Dr. Laura says when it comes up, and if he words it that way to her, and see what her response is. But I just found that to be very interesting. Okay, here's when I really knew that we were going left. Now let me say this: I'm not sure if everybody lying or just Christina and Brandon, because the two scenes that I felt were just totally bogus were the scenes where it was the two of them. So I don't know if the whole show was bogus or just the two of them. So we get to this scene when we down to the club. Now, mind you, remember, Christina does not want Brandon in the club. And she don't want Brandon in the club because Brandon had an oopsie with one of his artists. And for some reason, in her mind, I guess going to the club was part of his oopsie. I don't know. But this is what I'm going to say, y'all. And I'm just going to be real about it. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me a quick second, y'all. Give me a quick second. Hold on, y'all. Give me a quick second. What? Y'all, why they got a new season of The Secrets of Playboy? It's coming back. They got more women to talk. Y'all, we got to go back down that rabbit hole. Anyway, I apologize. The commercial came on and I was like, wait a minute, what? It's a new show? Okay, it's the same show. It's a new season. So we'll be talking about the second season of Playboy. Remind me to put it in my DVR. Okay, so they go to the club. So we meet a new guy. His name is Bravo. Bravo owns the club. And Brandon was like, oh, Bravo been trying to get me to come out to the club, blah, blah, blah. But, Christina don't really like me being here, whatever, whatever. This is what I'm going to say. So Anthony, let me get through this and then I'm getting. So Anthony shows up. Russell shows up. We found out that Russell said, look, I used to be big in the club, but I'm saved now. I don't drink. I don't party. I don't do all them things no more. So I'm down here at the club because I got to film this scene, but this really ain't my thing no more. That's how I felt. I felt like Russell was there so he wouldn't get fined. Okay. Russell was, and he did apologize for his wife, for, telling his wife and for coming back on Brandon. And Brandon was like, well, I really feel like that was your wife. I really feel like that was on your wife. I feel like she got real mean girl vibes. Now, I don't know about y'all, but did y'all peep the way the way Russell side-eyed Brandon when he was talking about his wife? Brandon, I don't think you got too many more of them. I'm just going to tell you. I don't think you got too many more of them. I'm going to talk about your wife. So while they're there, and this is how I knew we were just being ridiculous. The waitress shows up, and of course the waitress has on like almost like a Playboy bunny outfit. Speaking of Playboy bunny, it was like a leotard that wasn't quite a thong, but it was panty cut in the back and cleavage and stuff. And Brandon is sitting there like this. I'm like, can we not act like we 5? Like, sir, you are literally sitting there like this. Really, dude? Are we really gonna sit here and act like we 5 years old? So you can't look at the waitresses? So then Christina calls. So they're talking about him being at the club and this, that, and the other. Now we find out allegedly, and this is why I'm calling bullshit. Allegedly, Anthony, Brandon, and Bravo are doing a showcase for his new artist. And they made it seem like he was like, what you gonna do? I mean, Anthony was like, what you gonna do? I mean, we trying to get this showcase together. I mean, what you gonna do when it's time for the showcase? What you gonna do when it's time for the showcase? Listen, My little birdie down to Detroit told me that Brandon has showcases all the time for his artists. Because remember, a lot of what he does at the Star Factory is artist development, right? He doesn't sign on to manage a lot of people, but he shows, he teaches them stage presence and, it's artist development, which a lot of record companies, well, first of all, people aren't signing with record companies anymore. And even if they sign with an actual label, people aren't really doing artist development anymore. So it's actually a pretty good avenue to go into. Somebody wants to get into the industry and blah, 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 blah. But according to what I was told, Brandon has these showcases all the damn time. So they sitting there acting like this is something new. Oh my goodness, what you gonna do? We trying to get this showcase together. How your wife gonna feel about it? Brandon has showcases all over Detroit, all the time. He's had the Star Factory for years. This didn't just start a couple of months ago. He's been doing this for years, y'all. So it was just weird to me that they threw that out there, making it seem like, oh my goodness, what's your wife going to do when we try to do this showcase, when that is literally what he does. Number 2, Christina calls. First of all, bro, you are literally sitting in a club. Now, let's be clear. The only reason why the music wasn't blasted is because they were filming a scene. Like, let's be clear. The only reason why we could hear them talking is because y'all are filming a scene. Like I know, ain't nobody answering the phone at the club. Who the hell is answering? The only time you ever answer the phone at the club is if it is the person you waiting to show up or just left and you want to make sure they good. You're not, and nowadays we just text. Ain't nobody answering no phone at no club. So number 1, you answering the phone at the club and your wife don't want you at the club. You sat there and said you didn't even tell your wife that's where you were going. So why in the fuck would you answer the phone sitting in the club? Hey, Deborah, how you doing? Then you gonna tell them, you gonna tell her, no, I'm not at the club. I'm out with the guys. We went to get something to eat. Then you turn around and say, I was at church. And she gonna say, praise the Lord, like she really believe you. Ma'am. I said, after she did that, I said, oh, so we're just supposed to pretend like we believe this. Okay, I got it. All right. We're going to pretend like this is all real. Okay, I got it. Because there is nowhere in the world that you're going to sit here and convince me. Nowhere in the world you're going to sit here and convince me that she really believed that man was sitting up in somebody's church or even a restaurant. Let's say she was playing about the church thing, which I don't know why you playing, but okay. But let's say that you really, okay, I know y'all not really at church. You couldn't think they was at no restaurant either. Right, see, Golden, I don't think that she really thought they were at church. Like, there's no thought in my mind that thought that she really thought they were at church. I just couldn't wrap my brain around that. But how did you not know they were at the club? When you literally heard Bravo and you literally heard somebody say something about the club, and like Bravo said, he said, listen, bruh, you need to let me know. If we lying to the wife, I just need you to know so I know what to say and what not to say. I didn't know that she ain't know you was here or that you weren't allowed to be here. Child. Carlos knows we are veteran reality show watchers. We don't miss a beat when it's made up. Exactly, like, child. So anyway, it's just that whole scene was just extra to me. It was just too much. It was just extra. And again, what I'm gonna say about that is this. How do you expect your husband to be successful and make money in this field that he has chosen if he can't go to the areas in which the business is being handled? It is the music business. Music does get handled at the club. Business does get handled at night. Business does get handled at club settings. You're going to have to go to shows. Like, let's be clear. Let's just assume that he signs this artist and she becomes, you know, a viable artist. She's not going to start off playing at arenas. She's going to start off at hole-in-the-wall clubs. She's going to start off in small venues. So if you have a problem with him networking and going to those spaces, then he might as well just quit now. Either he need to quit or you need to quit, because it's not going to work. It's like, I'll just use another example. It's like if you marry a pastor, but you don't never want him to go to church. You can't. It just don't work like that. Like that's. Well, I shouldn't say not go to church. You're cool with him going to church, but you're not cool with him having Bible study on Tuesday nights. That just comes with the territory. What up, Mims? Hey, what's up, boo? But it's just crazy to me. It's just stupid. And again, it just doesn't ring true. It just doesn't ring true. You know what I mean? It just doesn't ring true. Exactly, Tracy. I think that's what she wants. She just wants him to get a new job. And then just say that. Say, look, in order for this marriage to work, I don't trust you anymore. And I no longer trust you in those spaces. And so if you're going to have to find another way to make money, and that's not fair to him. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, because he did have a whole emotional affair, which I think it was more than emotion. He explained, oh yeah, that's the other thing at the club. He explained the emotional affair was he got too close to one of his artists, and he was telling his artist, that he had one foot in and 1 foot out, and that he really didn't want to be married anymore, and that his wife was getting on his nerves, and that she was able to pull the text messages up and see the conversation. Now, he said they went to therapy and they're better. Actually, I feel like Anthony and Dr. Laura admitted that they went to therapy as well, and Russell and Kobe have been in therapy. You can listen by the way they talk to each other that they've been in therapy. And you can tell that their issue was communication. You can tell by the way, and maybe it was premarital counseling, but they are clearly using the language of somebody who has been to therapy. That's how I feel about it. Tia Marie is from the D. She needs a job. Carlos, child, she better go on and get her job before 50 Cent come and garnish whatever little bit of check he need to give her a job on Power and just not pay her. That's what he needs to do. Or give her a job on BMF and just not pay her. Just garnish her check. Everybody going to therapy and not learning a damn thing. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like everybody going to therapy and ain't learning shit. Child. So anyway, not in 2023, the Pound Town girl on big stages with the one terrible song. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, child, that's the club scene. And like I said, I don't believe nothing about that club scene. Anyway. What's next, child? We almost done, y'all. We see Kobe and Christina meet up. Let me read my notes and make sure I got everything. Boys' night. Okay, lied about fake scene. I wrote that in my notes. Fake scene. Okay. Kobe and Christina. Kobe invited Christina out to get her anniversary gift that she claimed she didn't get her, and to apologize for what she said. I'm gonna be honest with you. The best thing I liked about that scene was me and my niece need to go to that store the next time I'm in Detroit, because them bags in there were bad. I don't know if y'all saw it or not. Ladies, whatever that, I think the store was called Shinola, Detroit. I don't know how much them bags cost either. They probably cost a little pretty penny. But those were some cute bags. Did y'all see the bags in that store? They were real cute. You can make up to me. You can apologize to me with one of them bags. There were some really cute bags in that store. But I mean, other than that, we found out about the whole PK thing, which we already kind of knew. We saw Christina basically filling Kobe in on, the fact that she's just not comfortable with Brandon moving in those spaces, and Brandon lying to her is really making her feel some kind of way. Don't forget Harold's comments. We almost done. Thank you, boo. Earlier, someone in the chat said it seemed like everybody on the cast just fronting. I agree with that. It's a lie. It's a lie. But that's really all I got out of that scene. I even wrote it in my notes. Cute bag store. Because that store, they didn't give me Shinola is downtown and they have nice watches too. Diamond Pearl. Next time I'm in Detroit, I'm going there. I'm gonna give me a bag. Matter of fact, let me text it. Let me look it up. I'm gonna remind myself to look it up so I can bookmark that website. I'm going to Shinola the next time I'm in Detroit. Let me write that in my notes. I'm gonna give me a bag from there. Those bags were so cute. You said it's in downtown. Me and my niece went to a restaurant in downtown when I was there last time I was in Detroit. Went to a Asian restaurant. It was really nice. It was really nice. The food was nice. We had it was on a ground level, so we weren't like on top of nothing, but it was nice. And I had a cute little drink. It was nice. I forget the name of it. She know the name of it because she said that's one of her favorite restaurants, but I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, but I'm gonna have to check them out, Diamond Pearl. Next time I'm in Detroit, that's on my list. It's on. I'm gonna have to tell Pam I want to go there next time I'm in Detroit. Hopefully, next time I'm in Detroit, I'll be able to catch up with Pam, child. We keep missing each other. When she in DC, I'm not in DC. When I'm in Detroit, she ain't in Detroit. Child, we keep missing each other. Happy Canada Day. Okay, well, thank you, Crispies. Happy Canada Day from Toronto. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so this last scene is the wine tasting. So we're having the wine tasting for Dr. Laura and Anthony, their wine. Nay, write that down. Were you in here? Were you in here? Did you just come in? Did you just come in? Nay, the next time I'm in Detroit, we need to go to Shinola and we need to get us some bags. It's a store in downtown. They had they got some cute bags. I saw it on the show tonight. We need to go. It's in downtown Detroit. So I need you to go check it out and let me know what the prices is looking like before I go down there and get embarrassed. Let me know what the prices is looking like. But the next time I come to Detroit, I want to go down there. Okay? Okay, so you got to take me. Thank you. Put it on our list of things to do. It's called Shinola. It's in the chat. Hold on. Right here. It's in the chat. Okay? So Google it. Bookmark it. Okay? All right. That's my niche, y'all. For those who don't know. Okay. So we're at the wine event for Anthony and Dr. Laura's wine. Woodward Avenue. Okay, put it on there. They have a location at the mall in Troy too. I just know it's luxury. Okay, so you can buy me one for my birthday. That's cool. Anyway, I'm joking, but we'll check it out. Okay. So the wine scene was the only one I saw, and Anthony disgusted me. Really, B, didn't you say you don't need any more bags of shoes? Let me tell you what you're not gonna do. What you're not gonna do is throw my words in my face. Y'all give me a second. I need to meditate on that. Sorry about that. The bags are over 500. Okay. Tracy gonna hold me accountable. I ain't worried about Tracy holding me no accountable. Okay. Okay, well, I still want one. Is it a black designer? Are those black designers? I'm gonna have to do some research. All right, so we meet another new character. Well, I won't say character, another new person. Her name is Chelsea. Now, I'm not really sure who invited Chelsea. I don't know if Chelsea is Dr. I don't know if Chelsea is a friend of Dr. Laura's. I don't know if Chelsea is a friend of Runwell. I'm gonna have to look it up. Thank you. This is not a safe space. You know what I'm saying? They trying come at me about my bag addiction. Don't do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm cool. I'm cool. Christina, okay, thank you for reminding me. So Christina invited her. Okay. Now I'm gonna just go on and tell you I wasn't feeling Chelsea. I wasn't feeling Chelsea. I know that everybody ready to jump on Anthony. I know y'all are, but we're gonna get to that in a second. So we go through the whole luxury wine. She's the only black luxury wine. Oh, that's the other thing too, Nay. There was a wine bar. It's black owned. We need to go there too. We need to put that on our list. I'm gonna look up the name. It was in the. Anybody remember the name of the wine bar that they went to? Because it's black owned, and they have a room in the back where you can buy the glasses buy the wine by the glass, and you can taste it. That'll be somewhere nice that we can go to, Nate, next time I'm there. Thank you, Raydale. Let her buy shoes and bags. She getting 100K. Right, I'm getting that 100K for talking about the bishop. I can give me a bag. Hey. So anyway, so we go through the whole, how to, you check for the legs and all that stuff. If you've ever been to a wine tasting, you'd have been through that whole rigmarole of all that stuff or whatever. So then, of course, everybody gets something to eat, and we sitting down and we talking. So once again, we got to talk about Brandon and damn Christina and Anthony. After they done sat there, after Anthony done fussed at Russell, and after Anthony just jumped on Russell about him not controlling what he say to his wife and not controlling what come out, and they were at the club and they made this whole pact about what they were or weren't gonna say. They weren't gonna say nothing about being at the club. They wasn't gonna talk about they was at the club. Who's the person that said, well, we was at the club the other night? Damn Anthony. Anthony was like, damn, I didn't mean to make that slip. Really? Because it seemed pretty blatant to me. It seemed pretty blatant to me. Thank you, China White. Nene, write that down. The wine bar is called Pure Vin. We're going to check that out. It's black owned and it's a wine bar. Sorry, y'all. So it seemed very obvious to me that Anthony let it slip out that they were down to the club. And of course, Christina is responding and, oh my gosh, you were at the club. You lied to me. You know I don't want you at the club. Why are you at the club? And then here comes Chelsea. And Chelsea gonna say, I mean, I know I'm new here and everything, but what's the big deal about the club? And I feel like she even kind of said Anthony doing too much or something to that effect. Something to that effect. About Anthony doing too much or something. And Anthony was like, I've been friends with this man for 20 years. Like I feel like I can say something because I've been friends with this man for 20 years. Now, do I think that Anthony might have went a tad too far in how he came at her? Because he did call her a bird. She said Anthony was too in the bed. That's what it was. Thank you, C. Golden. Thank you so much, because I had lost my train of thought. Now, do I think that Anthony might have went too far when he called her a bird or whatever? Yes. I didn't think that the name calling was necessary, especially, calling somebody a bird or whatever. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. However, Chelsea, what you do? Why are you in it? Why are you in it? Because you are new. We ain't met you last season. We don't know you. Don't nobody else at that table know you but Christina. Like, you're not part of the clique, even though I can't say how long these couples have really known each other. Let's be honest. But you're not part of the clique. So you were out of line. You started it. Now, there are two different ways of looking at that situation. You can look at it way number one and say, Anthony, you went too far. Like, you say what you said and that's fine, but you went too far. Or you can look at it from option B, ain't no rules in fighting. If you came at me, I'm coming at you, and it ain't no rules to this. Now, that's, everybody got a different philosophy on how they see this. You see what I'm saying? Now, do I think Anthony did too much? Yes. And I feel like the women at that table, the minute Anthony called that woman out her name, I feel like they should have been like, whoa, 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 that's enough. But I understand Anthony's response and he was like, I don't know you. Like, who are you? We don't know you. Why are you in my business? I ain't mad at him about that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Now, Anthony ain't my favorite. I want to like Anthony, but I know I ain't going to. But been friends 20 years, but you didn't know Brandon was cheating. Child, they ain't been friends no 20 years. Child. But I'm just saying, Chelsea girl. But again, was that production in her ear going? Was that her feeling like, I gotta make a splash? We know how this reality TV thing goes. I gotta make a splash. Golden said, he was acting like a bee. Hey, Chris. Anthony and his man-woman haters club can kick rocks. Now, listen, I ain't defending Anthony because I still feel like Anthony is an ass. Let's be clear. I feel like he is a misogynistic ass. I'm just saying, Chelsea, you started that. So you got what you got. Again, I feel like Anthony did too much, but you started it. Now, that's the episode. Now, let me give y'all my 2 cents on this whole situation with the Carlos King thing. Look, the one thing, and I said this last week, and I'm just going to keep saying it every time I see it, which is going to probably be every episode or until I stop reviewing the show, whichever happens first. I really feel like Carlos really needs to examine his issue is a strong word, so I don't know if I want to use the word issue, but Carlos really needs to examine why he continues to choose these type of men and these type of relationships to highlight. This show is called Love and Marriage, whether it's Huntsville, DC, Detroit. And even with Bell Collective, what I do not see is you showing healthy relationships. And what I refuse to believe, because I have too many friends. I have too many friends who are in my age group or younger that are in healthy relationships. Notice I didn't say perfect. I did not say perfect. Because I don't think any relationship, whether it's a friendship, brother, sister, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, no relationship is perfect. So I'm not saying perfect. But it seems like he purposefully pulls out these relationships that have a level of toxicity to them that is unrealistic for me to feel like that's all you got. When I look at all 3 franchises at this point in the game, if I had to pick out a relationship that I feel like is going through just normal ups and downs of relationships, I would have to say Quick and Ashley. Their biggest issue that we know of at this point is that he works too much and that he doesn't slow down and he's allowing it to affect his health. But I don't feel like he is stopping Ashley from doing the things that she wants to do. I mean, she's been very transparent about her issues with mental illness and feeling like she, put her life on hold to uplift him. But I don't see him stopping her. Like now that she's writing a book and she's doing other things, I don't see him saying, nah, babe, don't you want to stay home and take care of the kids? Like, if anything, he's like, you babying them too much. But that's normal shit. Like, I just spent a week with my sister and her husband and my nephew, and they have those same conversations. Sometimes her husband is like, you babying him too much. He's so spoiled. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That is normal relationship shit. Stormy, no, I ain't gonna say Stormy and Courtney because that whole argument they had over the baby thing, I don't know. But again, I think that's normal relationship stuff. She wants more kids. He's like, that baby almost killed you. I ain't trying to go down that road again. I don't think those are toxic things. I think those are in the course of a relationship things. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at these other couples, the level of toxic, and I just feel like, Carlos, because what you can't tell me, what you can't convince me of, is that that's all you got. Like, I live in DC. You didn't come to DC and that's all you got. You didn't. You didn't come to DC and that's all you got. You didn't go to Detroit and that's all you got. You didn't. That's who you chose. I like Jamie and I like Urena. I do. I like them. I don't always like what they show us. But again, that ain't all that's here. Well, Xavier said Love Marriage DC showcases normal relationships, but they also draw the lowest views. I'm going to tell you what I think part of the problem with Love and Marriage DC was. I think Carlos put way too much weight on the fact that he had Monique Samuels and thinking that she had a bigger fan base than what she had. I think he overplayed the Monique hand. This season was way better than last season because I don't think he was relying on Monique wasn't there. And so he didn't rely on Monique and what he thought Monique was going to bring to the show. And the rest of the couples had to sort of create their own storylines outside of their connection to Monique because Monique didn't even film. So honestly, I think DC's ratings will go up. And not just because they had that fight and stuff, but I just think the ratings will go up because I think the storylines that we're seeing this season are more authentic than what we saw last season. So, I think they will. And if they don't, oh well. Like, if they don't, they don't. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. Carlos had Monique has Love Marriage DC, so the dynamic sucked. Yeah. I don't think I'd ever see a cast of men that were more misogynistic than the men of Huntsville. Then there's Detroit. The way Russell was handling Kobe tonight was a hot arse mess. I was appalled. Yeah. Detroit is just, I told y'all last week that Detroit is a carbon copy of Huntsville. And Detroit is going to go down the same road as Huntsville is going to go down. The only difference is if they don't adjust some of how they're, I don't even know. But the only difference is Detroit isn't going to get as much of a chance. Huntsville got a chance because in that first season, all we saw was Marceau and his chauvinistic ways. We didn't really see Martell for what he was I mean, we saw him as a cheater, but we didn't see the level of that narcissism. I don't know, that's an overused word, but we didn't see that level with Martell that first season. And even in the second season, we saw Melody and Martell trying to work things out. It really wasn't until season 3 when Mel stopped, I guess, covering for him that we really saw a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why Huntsville really went on for as long as it did, with us not seeing the levels. Maurice and Kimmy were getting married. We saw the Kiowa thing play out, you know, but we definitely did not see this Maurice. I mean, again, did we see glimpses of things? I mean, sure. If you go back in hindsight, but in the moment, I didn't see it. Maurice was my favorite out of the 3 guys, and Kimmy is she's still my favorite on the show. You know, so I really feel like if Detroit doesn't adjust and I don't know, pivot or whatever. I mean, I know these shows are already filmed. There's nothing they can do. If it comes back for season 2, they're gonna have to make some adjustments. They're just gonna have to make some adjustments. I don't know how long this machine is gonna be able to run. This Carlos and the machine, because even if you look at Bell Collective, again, it's a show full of toxic men. It's a show full of toxic men. Glenn is toxic. If that is real and it's not just a made up storyline, you tracking your wife, like him popping up on them at that leasing office was bullshit. And I know that was bullshit. But just his attitude, that's my wife, she ain't going nowhere. You ain't taking my stuff from me. That is some toxic shit. So you get to be out in them streets doing whatever the hell it is you want to do with whoever you want to do it with. But now that your wife wants to reclaim her time, now all of a sudden it's a problem and you, boy, go sit down somewhere. Then we got Cliff over here treating Latrice like she his daughter. And Latrice with her daddy issues, grabbing on that woman, calling her out her name. Hell, I don't know what the hell Marie had going on with Cedric. I still ain't figured out what that situation was. I still ain't figured that shit out. I thought it was criminal to track somebody. I don't know. Hey, B. Carter, how you doing? Well, we still have a writer strike, so Carlos is going to get one more season. You're right, Tracy. That's a valid point. With the writer strike, let me tell y'all, let me say this and then we're going to get out of here. But in case y'all did not know, or you don't remember the last time we had a writer strike, that was when we saw the spike of reality TV shows and competition shows. Reality TV already existed, but it didn't exist on the level. It was an explosion of competition shows and reality TV shows. Why? Because you don't need writers, technically, right? You can do a reality show and you don't need writers. So if this writer strike, and they've been on strike, how long they been on strike, Xavier? For about 2 months now. So number one, don't expect your fall shows to be on time. Normally the fall shows start September around Labor Day. Don't expect that this year. It's going to probably be a late start to the fall shows. And depending on how much longer this strike goes on, it may be longer than that. Now they're able to. Let me say that. Let me change that up, because Xavier, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it won't be a delay to the start of the season, but it'll be a delay to the continuation, because they may have already started. I don't know when they start filming for fall, so the writers may have already started writing some of the shows, and then it was extended. You know what I'm saying? But either way, it's going to f up fall TV season. I'm just telling y'all that. Right, Xavier. It paved the way for Donald Trump with The Apprentice. A lot. If you look at the years of a lot of these reality shows, or the start dates, or even just go back to shows that have been canceled now. If you go back to those years, you could they coincide with a lot of with the writer's strike. Yeah, and the actors have actually, didn't they vote to strike too? I know they're supporting. So it'll be a delay to the start of the network shows because they usually write during this time. Okay, so yeah, I should have been clear and say I meant network. Yeah, network shows. So yeah, just be prepared to see a lot more reality, a lot more game shows, competition shows, stuff where you don't technically need writers. Yeah, just be ready. So you're right, Tracy. That's a valid point. Carlos may very well get a year, an extra year out of this because of the writer's strike. You're right. They voted for an extension. Okay. I knew they voted for something. I wasn't sure. You know, Xavier keeps us up on those kinds of things. All right. So, and just be prepared to start seeing just dumbass reality shows popping up or accelerated seasons. So, for example, let's say a show like Married at First Sight, right? They just finished up their season. I don't know when a new season is supposed to start, but let's say if the new season was supposed to start in August, don't be surprised if you see the new season pop up earlier, or it's a longer season. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Stuff like that. I expect to see a lot of reruns. Yeah. Yep. Also shows from streaming. You know what, Xavier? I didn't think about that. That's, yeah. Especially people like Peacock and Paramount Plus. You know, Peacock has like a whole, they like, for example, Bel Air, right? They have 2 seasons of Bel Air that have only been on Peacock. That's also NBC. Don't be surprised to see Bel Air over on NBC. And they got 2 seasons of Bel Air that they can show. That's a good point, Xavier. I didn't think about that. Think about shows that just come on Peacock that are NBC show. I mean, that can stream on NBC. Because we're talking about the network. The cable ain't really gonna be a big issue. Same thing with Paramount Plus. Those are CBS shows. They have like Sylvester Stallone has a whole reality show with his family right now. They've got all of the Star Wars stuff that they do over on Peacock Plus. I mean Paramount Plus. So don't be surprised to see those types of shows that you only saw streaming, see them on network television now. Yeah, they push Big Brother back. Yep. Well, Insecure, I mean, on board Insecure. Well, not boarded, but yeah, all the Insecure is going to be on. The hotel workers about to go out on strike in Cali. Oh, wow. And this is the right time for them to do it, right? During tourist season, too. So. All right, yeah, let me get out of here. It is after 11. It's almost my birthday. It's almost my birthday. I got 30 minutes to my birthday. I wish I felt like talking for 30 minutes, and y'all could bring in my birthday with me, but I really don't feel like talking for 30 more minutes. But well, since Tyler Perry does all his own writing, nothing should change in his name. Well, all those shows from BET Plus. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Steph Boogie. No, I'm sleepy, Steph. It's not y'all. I'm just sleepy. I'm sleepy. I'm ready to go to bed. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning, and I tried to take a nap, and I couldn't go to sleep. I tried to take a nap earlier. Thank you. We're 7 days apart. Yes, Cancer season. Hey. That's what should change. Give writers a chance, Tyler, child. We have to sing to you. Child, we'll be here tomorrow night for a whole party. We'll be here tomorrow night for a whole party. My phone gonna ring at 12 o'clock anyway. My best friend gonna text me. No, she not. I'm telling a lie. She ain't gonna be up at midnight. Two of your best friends are Cancer. They must be wonderful people. Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh dear God, if I get 12 new shows with the same poor writing assistants, I'm gonna go off. Child. Thank you, everybody. Another Cancer. Yes, Cancer season. Yes. Look at all these Cancers. Yes. Oh Lord. Child. Can I bring Bishop Robert as a +1? If he bring that $100,000 that he claimed I got, yup. If he bring them $100,000 that he claimed I got, sure can. July the 10th. Look at all these. Yes, to the Cancers. All right, y'all. I'm going to, for real, I do. I'm telling you, I wish I had the energy to sit here for another 30 minutes. I don't. I do not. But y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to be partying tomorrow all day. All day. We're going to have a party. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow at this point. I'm be honest with y'all. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. But I will talk to y'all later. Mwah! Peace. No, Tracy, we are not getting an anniversary of the robbery. No, we're not.